He's definitely up towards the Nexus. Kevin is going to be able to go towards him. He's trying to do it, but meanwhile, they're in the base. Yellowstar's trying to defend them in the base. Xpeke is trying to take the Nexus down. Is anyone going to be able to deal with this one? Catches him with another axe. He's very low on that. They're pushing on the Nexus too.
Try to think of all the League of Legends players with a signature play named after them. Which one comes to mind first? If your mind took you to the magical moment with Xpeke, the man who made a play so iconic on a champion that allowed every ounce of his skill set to shine, then you're on the right track. Xpeke utilized Kassadin to make a play so memorable, so stylistically intensive, that the colloquial term for Backdoor, even years after that play, is replaced with his name. When you say that you're gonna Xpeke the enemy team, everyone knows what you mean. And those that don't, soon find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 3, 1-1. TSM wins game number 2.
Can't get away from this one. He's going to get taken down. The minions are on the Nexus. He does so hard.
Trying to be the hero. The recall's coming in, but Sohan was on it. One goes back, the rest come in. Putting Cloud9 on his back. And the 4-4-2 Meteos takes down the Nexus.
But what came after the famous Backdoor? What happened after the Xpeke was a full season of outright dominance. A season that would culminate in 2 regional titles and a trip to the World semifinals. And Xpeke did it all with the champion that he made famous. Xpeke's famed backdoor play against SK Gaming took place before an EU LCS match had even been played in 2013. Just 3 weeks into the new year, IEM Katowice, a traditional independent preseason tournament, played host to the most iconic kickoff event any season of Pro League of Legends had seen at the time. Even to this day, there has never been a louder, more energizing crescendo so early into a season of Pro League. And just 3 weeks later, SK Gaming and Fnatic would play the first ever match in EU LCS history. Fnatic won that again on the heels of another stellar performance from Xpeke, but you can probably guess which champion SK banned, just to be safe. And SK wasn't alone in banning Kassadin. Throughout 2013, the champion was let through the ban phase just 37 times in Europe, with Xpeke selecting him on 12 occasions. In total, just about 1 in every 3 Kassadin selections across the region that year were made by Xpeke. He finished the season with a 66% win rate on the champion whenever an opponent was foolish enough to let him play it. Kassadin was widely considered as one of, if not the best champions in the game during the 2013 season. An assassin-focused meta controlled the mid lane that year, as players like Xpeke were expected to roam out of the lane and help provide pressure by securing kills around the map with high damage, high mobility champions. Sure, champions like Zed, Fizz, and Ahri all had their places in the meta, but no champion provided the full package quite like Kassadin. Part of what made Kassadin so strong was that his ultimate, Rift Walk, was on a much shorter cooldown and cost far less mana in 2013 than it does in the present day. That gave the champion the unmitigated ability to bob and weave in and out of skirmishes and gank effectively, all while being able to go back to mid lane and farm practically unscathed after each encounter. Kassadin was unmatched, and frankly, so was Xpeke. The two made for a lethal pair. Giving the best Kassadin player in the world his best champion was not something any team wanted to do. Throughout 2013, Xpeke drew 34 Kassadin bans against him, as teams in the EU LCS had seen what had happened to SK Gaming and feared that the same could happen to them. Heading into Worlds 2013, Kassadin was still the hot-button topic of the season. Despite universal cries for changes, Riot only applied 1 nerf to Kassadin in 2013 and even buffed his signature ability, Rift Walk, ahead of the 2013 World Championships. It was practically certain that he wouldn't make it into games at the tournament. But Xpeke found a way.
He will finally bounce in the middle of them. Peke comes in to try and clean things up. Lupa going very low. Him and Cyanide battling as there's a triple kill for Peke. And I've got a feeling it's not over. Lupa going to have his passive pot, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. This is going to be the first ace.
International teams must not have gotten the memo regarding the Fnatic mid laner's abilities on the champion. Xpeke was able to play Kassadin on 3 separate occasions at Worlds 2013. Needless to say, he won all 3 of those games by way of absolute landslides. No game, however, was more exemplary of his raw talent with the champion than the decisive 3rd game against Cloud9 in the World's quarterfinals. In Game 1 of the series, Fnatic took down Cloud9 by way of a respectable performance from none other than Xpeke's Kassadin. After C9 tied the series up in Game 2, Fnatic prepared secondary selections and counterpicks for Xpeke, fully expecting his Grade A Kassadin to be banned away by Cloud9.
And then Fnatic, they have Kassadin. That's all they need, as far as their style goes.
But the North American champions tested the greatness of Xpeke once again. The upstart team of rookies doubted the veteran and his ability to take the game into his own hands. Kassadin was left wide open by Cloud9, essentially ending the game before the teams even loaded onto the Rift. Xpeke sent Cloud9 packing with his signature pick, posting a scoreline of 11-0-7 in a 26-2 romp. Fnatic went on to reach their second World semifinal in 3 years. As for Kassadin, he was banned against Fnatic in the remainder of the team's games throughout the tournament. For a brief window of time in League of Legends history, Kassadin was the strongest champion the game had ever seen. He would continue that dominance into 2014 before receiving a full rework on patch 4.3, thus ending his lengthy saga of dominance. But before Riot brought down the hammer on the monster they created, Xpeke made sure to squeeze every advantage he could out of the most commanding champion of all time. While the legendary Backdoor stamped Xpeke into the history books, it was what came after that solidified his place among the greats.
Thanks for watching. For more gaming-related content, subscribe to the Esports YouTube channel to stay up to date.